Hi, it's Leela, the proud Poly Kinky Queer Slut. Today's question is, what do you think about pornography? And the person asking the question asked that we look at both the individual and society. And I want to say this right off the bat. Pornography is art. Legally, pornography is art, and I think it actually is art. My take on pornography is that it is art. I heard this great quote recently. I don't know where it's from, but it is that art should comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. And I think that that's what pornography does most of the time. So, concerns with pornography. I definitely have some concerns with the modern porn industry and with, pornography as it currently exists. Those concerns are, one, our society is so sexually repressive that a lot of people are drawn to pornography as their primary outlet for their sexuality. And because of that, they develop a view that what happens in pornography is real life. It is not real life. That is not how most sex goes down. Most real life sex is much different from that. It is art that exists for art's own sake. I also think that there are a lot of people being taken advantage of by the modern porn industry, both in terms of lonely people who, and I don't mean that like literally, not like lonely, but like people who do not have a lot of sexual outlets and especially young people who don't have a lot of sexual outlets who get kind of drawn in and taken advantage by the money-making aspects of the porn industry. Also, I think it's hard when you're approaching pornography to make sure your porn is ethically sourced, to make sure that it's porn that is coming where all the actors are voluntary and it's not anybody who's been trafficked into it and nobody's been pressured into it. I really appreciate the pornography that has that at the front, that like actively says, has the people sitting there saying, hey, I made this and I wanted to make this and this is my art, or this is what I wanted to make it, wanted to do. So yeah, I think that there is definitely some more that could be done to make the porn industry more ethical and weed out some of those abusive problems in the industry. But I think the way to do that is more sexual transparency, more access to resources, more discussion about sexuality as a whole, and more outlets for healthy sexuality, not more repression, because that's what drives people down those holes, is that repression. I do think that there needs to be a huge crackdown on things like child pornography. That's unexcusable and abusive. But that kind of pornography is abuse in the same way that sexual assault is abuse, in the same way that child rape is abuse. I'm not going to paint the entire industry by the brush of those bad actors. And I will say that it is getting easier to source your porn ethically and to have some trust that the stuff that's being uploaded that's out there is stuff that people are uploading of their own free will for their art. I also really like that there's this explosion right now in creativity in this space with a lot of people uploading amateur stuff, the explosion of hentai, like so much stuff that's getting created that is truly just fun creative art, and that is also mixing up that script, that standard narrative script, and also of the porn that you like, make out and then blowjob and then I really appreciate that there is more independent media, more women produced media happening that is challenging those norms in ways that we might not have seen 15 years ago. So that's all good stuff. I will say also, I think this is relevant to the question about porn, but I probably should just do another episode on this as well. Support sex workers, please. What's going on? I mean, the fact that the prostitution's illegal is just ridiculous. But like, people consenting to have sex with each other is not bad, period. And if they want to do it on video, great. If they want to do it on a raunchy video where they're enacting like kink scenes, but everybody's consenting to it, and that's understood in the video, I think that's great. The pitfall of porn is that porn is art. Porn is not real life. Porn is no more real life than that sitcom you watched on TV last night. They're both not real life. And I do think that people need to understand that. People need to understand that porn is not real life. People need to understand that when you're paying a cam girl to dance for you, that she's acting and performing a service for you, and that is not your real life girlfriend. I think as long as we're clear on that, and as long as like people are paying attention to making sure that folks are not getting taken advantage of, like, I think that porn is beautiful and wonderful, And I like some really raunchy porn. So anyway, thank you for the question. I appreciate it very much. This is Leela, the proud Poly Kinky Queer Slut. Remember, you can ask me anything. Email me at kinkyqueerslut@gmail.com, and have a great day.